Alright, people. Part 3. Justin chats. Can't believe we made it this far. Can't believe people actually care. Like three whole people have told me that they want to hear these stories, chats, whatever. I can't believe 3 people care. Oh my god, my hair is so bad. I need a haircut. I didn't bother caring after class today, so ignore that. Today we were going to talk about a few things. We were going to talk about I'm going to do a quick snippet on basketball because that was fun last night. Going to talk about the now infamous Makayla Graziano. And we're going to talk about the CF community and some things that have been happening recently that kind of disturbed me. I'm not a big fan of. As a prominent member and a role player in the community, I'm not liking where it's headed, so we're going to touch on that at the end, and I'll wrap up with that. First of all, basketball. I play basketball, that's my sport. I enjoy it very, very much, obviously. Take a lot of pride in it, take a lot of effort into it. And working hard at it is something that helps me physically, personally. It's something I go to when I'm having a bad day. It's always good to just be able to go to the gym, get some shots up, practice, get better. Be prepared for any game situation, be able to be a better shooter, be a better defender, be a better runner, everything like that. Jump higher, because Ryan apparently can dunk, which is not cool. But anyways, yeah, so last night we had the game, and we lost 30-40. Didn't play particularly great in the first half. I think we were down by about 4 at halftime in the start of the second half. We just couldn't get any shots to go. The refs don't really like our players, so they called a lot of non-fouls that should have been fouls on Brandon inside and stuff like that. And we ended up being down 40-19 with 89 seconds left in the game. And I just said, screw it, we're down. I'm going to start shooting because I had freaking 3 points at the time and whatever. And I went down and dribbled to the left, and I got a screen from our fake person who is leaving our team now, whatever. Got a screen from our person, Jada, and took about 2 steps to my left from the block, about free throw line extended, basically, and pulled up, and I was like, okay, what the hell? If it's going to go, it's going to go. And it went in, and I was like, sweet. Next time down the court, drove into the lane, did a nice spin, got switched off of the guy that was guarding me, who was probably 6'5", 6'4", onto this girl who was like 5'10", maybe, and so did a dribble step to like block extended and pulled up and hit a 2-pointer. So that was 5 points in about 15 seconds. Got a quick turnover, pulled up again from the same 3 spot as the first one, nailed that one. And at the end of the game, 15 seconds left, got it back, had Joel set a screen for me and pulled up and hit that one. So we had 11 points in a minute and a half, give or take, and ended up with 14 on the night, and we ended up losing 40-30. Bummer, but felt good to get some good shots up, start making shots. It's really, I take a lot of pride in myself on my shooting ability. That's kind of the only thing I've got going for me at this point, but it was good to get some good shots up and knock some down. I'm disappointed it took me freaking 32.5 minutes to get to that point where you could start hitting shots, but better late than never. Learn a little bit about shooting on that court. My new shoes, always still learning about your shoes, how they're going to grip, how they're going to stick, how they plant, how they turn, how they feel on your feet, so on, stuff like that. So that was good. Enough about that. Makayla Graziano. Just going to touch on this. I'm not sure it's the right time to really give the full story. I'm sure I will definitely come back to this at some point, in depth, when more details come out, more things come out. But from my point of view, we'll just give a quick snippet, 2 minutes or so, since I ranted about basketball for 3.5 minutes. Basically, Makayla was my best friend that I met last spring, the end of the semester while I was at school here. And CF community person, hit off pretty well, good friends. She seemed to know her stuff. She knew about, lung transplants and CF and the community and all sorts of cool stuff. And it's fantastic. I love meeting people like that. I love people in the community that I can bounce ideas off of, talk to, support, stuff like that. And things started turning south for her and her family. And there's a lot of details and crap that went into that. But basically, she passed away shortly after Christmas, the week after Christmas. And I learned about 2 or 3 weeks ago from a couple of CF friends of mine in the community that are very, very vocal in the community. They have a podcast and all sorts of stuff like that. I learned from them that she wasn't real. And you're hearing that and saying, well, what do you mean she's not real? And, yeah, of course she's not real anymore. She's dead. No, she never existed. She was made up, catfished. Not just me, but, several people. I've heard as many as like 50 people in the CF community she catfished with this bullshit, basically, story. Excuse my language, but I'll be fine, honestly. People have asked me, be strong with it, are you sad? Are you affected? And of course I'm sad. I mean, that was like one of my best friends, the best friend I've ever had in the CF community. I put a lot of effort and time into that, and it hurts to know that that was never real and you were played. And I feel like an idiot for getting played. And definitely everybody in the CF community now is going to have their guard up because of stories like this, and we don't want to do that. But for the people that are fighting for their lives and they cannot leave their houses because they're too sick to leave their houses and they can't fight, having a story like this around could literally be the last fight that they have. Having someone that you care about that much and you relate to in your CF fight that much, I can't underestimate how much it crushes you. It crushes someone that is fighting for their life, fighting for a lung transplant. To hear potential success stories or other stories and tragic stories, any story, and have it turn out to be fake crushes you when you invest that kind of heart and soul and time into that. Like, I invested 9.5 months of knowing this person and talking CF with them and talking life with them, and that was important to me. And to not have it be there, and to have it be, it was still real, and I learned a lot about myself in that, but to have it not be real as a fictional story like that, it blows my mind. I'm not so pissed off for myself. I'm more pissed off for, like I said, the people in the community that are taking this now and are going to have a hard time opening up and fighting and being able to be positive members of the community just because of the things that have happened to them now. And they're not going to have a lot of will to trust people and give a crap about anybody else, because I don't blame them. It's hard to have a story like that and then not be able to open up and verify what's going on. It's a terrifying thing. It's scary with the internet, and I don't really blame them. But, it's the world we live in these days, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm sure I'll touch on that more. Just wanted to give a quick snippet of, that being a catfish story, and remember to look out and remember that there are still bad people in this world. There are still people that, for whatever reason, crave attention like that, want to hurt people. And, it's a sad, unfortunate thing, but it happens. So I'm going to highlight and use it and learn from it and hopefully be a positive member of the community. See what I did there? The community, the CF community, as many people know it, as I know it very well, obviously, as a prominent member of the CF community, I like to think. A lot of things have happened the last few weeks and months that I have not really been a fan of, from the way that they're managing stuff like social media to things people are doing and people are saying, and it's really bugging me, to be honest with you. We'll start out with the things they're using on social media. They're almost promoting the disease as a, not tool, but they're using it to benefit, fundraising and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, this is a CF patient here in the hospital. She just finished her blood transplants. Visit our website and participate in a fundraising event. It's like, I get it. Fundraising, all that is a massively, massive, important part of what we do in the cystic fibrosis community. It's huge because it doesn't have the outreach of something like cancer or like AIDS or, I don't know, pick your disease that people know very well, Lou Gehrig's disease, whatever. But I think to not glorify is not the right word, but politicize it and, make it a show or a fest or anything like that, and basically say, hey, look at us, like, we need some attention too. I'm not a big fan of that, and I understand people that, their children have passed away or they know someone that's passed away. That's like, we need to raise awareness for this. And we do need to raise awareness for this, but we should not be popsicling, for lack of a better term, popsicling people that are living with the CF and like, oh yeah, we're happy people too, look at us, and donate $1,000 so that we might find a cure because we haven't found one in 20 years. No, we got what we got. And there are so many incredible drugs, like I said the other day. Short of finding a cure, there's not massive amounts of progress to be made. So we shouldn't be sitting here like, you're not doing enough, feel guilty about it, spend more money, love more, all this crap. And I'm not about that, especially on social media. There's no need to be, here's our patient of the week. Like, that's just not my style. Excuse me. Now I have a couple things I want to touch on before we wrap up quickly. In the community, I've seen a lot of talk about people competing, is a light term again, competing who's the sickest or who's working the hardest, whatever. And personally, for me, my motivation in competition in CF is not I'm sicker than you, so have it harder than you, whatever. I've seen a lot of people do that, not just CF community, the chronic illness community as a whole. And that I find that the stupidest thing ever. Like, it doesn't matter how sick you are. There's no tiers. There's no levels. There's no prize for being the sickest. There's no, well, you're right, you get a break this week because you've been working the hardest. No, you work your hardest every day. There's no days off. There's no back cuts. There's no any of that crap. Like, you have what you have, and that's it. So people competing to be the sickest or who is the sickest is stupid to me. And my motivation personally comes from trying to be the bravest, hardest fighter I can be. And I personally think that, although I'm very healthy, I personally think that I'm the best CF fighter in the whole world. And that might be selfish of me, that might be slightly cocky of me, but I think the time I put in to be great and to take care of myself and to be excellent and still, manage school, basketball, family, friends, all the things that I do, I think the time I put into CF and the effort I take in taking care of myself is second to none, honestly. And that might, like I said, sound like kind of a, D-bag thing to say, for lack of a better term, but I honestly godly think that I'm the best CF fighter in the world, and I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride in the time I spend and the health I have and stuff like that, so I'll continue to work at that. Finally, I've seen a lot of people in the CF community lately talk about, I'm having a bad day, so my friend came and brought me 5 lattes from Starbucks and 10 Hershey bars and all this crap. I'm like, when you're having bad days, you should A, rest because you're having a bad day. B, you should learn from whatever, if there's something in particular that you see reoccurring having a bad day, fix it. Don't sit here and eat chocolate bars and drink coffee. Why do you not feel well? Well, maybe because instead of trying some new drugs or doing some exercise or resting, you're drinking freaking coffee and eating Hershey's bars. Voila! I don't know about you. I love a Hershey bar as much as the next guy. I'm a freaking chocolate nut. I have a Twix bar in my fridge right now that I'm going to eat as soon as we're done with this. But I'm not sitting here it's a terrible day. I wish somebody would bring me a whole chocolate cake to eat. I don't know. I've talked to girls. I have a lot of friends that are female, and they tell me it's bad CF days like PMS, and I'm like, I don't know what that means. They're like, do you just want to crave chocolate and not care about the world? I'm like, I always crave chocolate and I always care about the world. But they're like, yeah, I don't sit here and bad day, I'm gonna eat a whole chocolate cake now. And I feel like that's definitely not the best way to continue to improve, continue to get better, and just recover from your bad day. I mean, bad days happen. I hear it all the time I have the best friends in the world. I have best friends my brother, obviously, first and foremost, my parents, best friend Adam, Sage, Cameron, Jenny, all the people, Joel, all the people in my life that support me, care about me, and make this possible, make my life possible, make everything I do possible. But the best way to go about that is not to be eating 5 chocolate cakes, drinking coffee, going outside when the weather's bad, so on. If you're having bad days, lay low, rest, recover. Next week, we'll talk about my life, I guess. I'll tell you a little bit about, like I said, some more basketball, some things I do, classes I'm taking. If you have any comments, drop them below. Hit me up on Twitter at Justin Crizzle, Instagram at Justin Krasneski, Snapchat at JCrizzleIRacer. Text me if you have my number, whatever. Give me something to talk about. We'll figure it out. Until then, bye.